Finally I made it back home. Yesterday night was a pretty tough and rough night. I've been involved in a street fight when I'm not supposed to at the night market. It wasn't what I expected, but at least I made it out alive after being surrounded by several lowly gang delinquents. But I managed to make it out, so things are just a little bit better. 'Tis but a scratch. Today we're gonna talk about our first topic. One topic that I'm very very much interested in. It's called professional wrestling. Yes. It's the fake sport with people actually punching each other. It's actually a pretty broad topic that I'll be splitting into many different discussion videos. Probably 5 or 6. My personal views on each promotions, about the sport, about the athletes or the performance, the roster, star power in between them, and also my opinions of the shows and the cards of each pay-per-view, even though I don't have the television to watch the show live. So the first promotion that I'm going to discuss about is the most prominent, the top dog, the number one promotion right now in terms of the corporate size. Yes, this company, this promotion is called WWE, and associated with it, NXT 2.0. WWE was so big, it actually started out as one of a small territory from local promotions within the big umbrella called NWA, National Wrestling Association, for the full name. WWE later became WWF, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, and then later when Vince McMahon took over, he shortened it into WWF, which is World Wrestling Federation. Of course, there has been several different history-changing moments that shifted from one local promotion under a territory into a nationwide media conglomerate. And after merging several other local promotions, it became a big corporate structure, and it has several shows per week. They call it brands, but it's just because they have too many talent and too little screen time. They changed their name from WWF into WWE because they had a lawsuit against the organization that we now call WWF, which has the logo of a panda, an animal protecting organization. And WWE lost the lawsuit and had to change their name from WWF to WWE. But that actually made it better for them because Vince McMahon believes it's more like a show business rather than a sport. And it is more like a performing arts because it's pre-planned and scripted, but it tells a good story if the feud is written correctly. You have heel and faces being baby faces, the good guys, heels being the bad guys, and you also have these lesser distinguishable characters who could situationally act as both heel or face, and it is common for personnel to do face turn or heel turn just to change their trajectory in their careers within the promotion. WWE has currently they have 5 televised shows. Their primary show, Monday Night Raw, which is 2.5 hours. But recently, the opinions of Monday Night Raw is just 50-50 because of how they have too many roster and too many talents within their roster. The 50-50 booking is always like something that upsets hardcore fans. And Monday Night Raw is the primary victim of 50-50 booking, despite being the primary show that they promote to have like 2.5 hours. Because during the pandemic, they had virtually the same feud, the same matches, copy and pasted, like for weeks, and for most of the time the same result. It's kind of like watching the same show for like three weeks in a month before a pay-per-view occurs. So you don't really you get tired from like lazy writing and 50-50 booking. The next show, which is arguably the better show for the current status right now, is SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown, with the rise of the heel character for Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, and several other star power. With only 1 hour short of Raw, they do have a better show, even when they have a 50-50 booking for their undercard. It's still a better show. They also have like the commentators like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. So I have a better impression of SmackDown when compared to Raw. Next is their formerly third brand, now developmental, called NXT 2.0. It used to be black and gold. Now it's more colorful because of Vince McMahon's idea. NXT used to be an indie super show, or the ultimate place for independent wrestlers to gather around and have the style of match that more resembles the independent scene than the show business of the main roster, SmackDown or Raw. But that era has gone after the Wednesday Night War with recently started a rival promotion called AEW, and now it has gone back to its roots as a developmental show. It is surprising better than what many think it would flop, but still it has its own limitations. It kind of resembles the main roster now, except you got younger talent, and the prospect, the new talent, they're not bad. It's just when compared to its predecessor, the Black and Gold, it's definitely more lackluster than praise. The fourth show is called NXT UK, which still uses the Black and Gold formula because NXT UK is located in the United Kingdom, separated from most other shows in America. NXT UK is somewhat still a continuation of the Black and Gold brand, but with British talents. And that's how I learned, but still butchered my British accent, local British accents from. Because you got star power like Kaylee Ray, Gallus, Noam Dar, grizzled young veterans. And Pete. Did I say Pete Dunne? Yeah, Pete Dunne, and Jordan Devlin. They have the heavy Gallic accents, and even though normally on TV advertisements they say NXT UK, but when they actually cut a promo, they say NXT UK. UK Women's Championship belt. And that's my best impression I could give. I'm still learning, but hey, I'm doing better right now. Better than what I did before it when I was still in the academy. And the last show is called 205 Live. Originally, the show is dedicated to undercard male wrestlers who have a limited of weight, a weight class of 205 pounds. But now it's more like a developmental show for a developmental show. So it's like NXT's NXT. It features undercards, and the matches are still technical, but not as high-flying and risky as they used to be. It's not a bad show. For some reason, it has more praise than Monday Night Raw right now. They have a sixth show, which is basically just untelevised segments from Monday Night Raw. They compile them together and call it the main event. It's just undercard talents from Raw, and they have it. They perform one or two matches and also a promo. WWE is like the beginner's option when you choose to watch professional wrestling, but it's not great, particularly during this early stages. Not early stages, this current modern one, but their archives, because they've merged with WCW and ECW. The archive material and what they have done in the past, those are very compelling and they have good writing. And therefore, if you're just starting to watch professional wrestling, I'd recommend you to watch WWE. Also because I've gotten to fight and I have to do locks and also different types of strikes to get the delinquents out of my way. Next time we'll either be discussing on the wrestlers of interest right now in WWE, or we'll move on to a different promotion when we talk about professional wrestling. My name is Shishio Genhaku. This is part of the first in-depth discussion on a topic, and I'll have more of these. But for now, my time is up, and I wish you a great, nice rest of the day. Shishio Genhaku off.